Back in the 70s, board games and improv theater had a baby, and it was called the role-playing game. These games allowed a generation of kids to live out their dreams of slaying dragons and saving kingdoms, all while sitting in their bedrooms and basements. Today, gaming has moved into the cultural mainstream, and role-playing games are back with a vengeance. Join us now as 5 of these former kids come out of the basement and onto the internet to experience adventure, mystery, and obscure pop culture references. It's time for Roll for Combat!
Hey everyone, welcome to Roll for Combat. I'm your GM and host Stephen Glicker, and in this week's episode, the boys continue and finish, trust me, they do finish, Spaceship Combat this week. In addition, we have our new segment, Roll to Assist, where myself and Perram from the No Direction podcast answer your questions, and this week's question is, how do you manage a game with hundreds of books and thousands of rules? We get into that. And then, of course, we have the next question to this week's free trip to PaizoCon contest. That's right, just listen to the episode, take some notes, listen to the question, write down your answer, and then in several weeks from now, we'll have a form where you too can enter and win a free trip to PaizoCon. So a few quick notes about this week. One thing you should all be part of is the Roll for Combat Discord channel. One of my favorite sections of the Discord, which I'm always following, is our episode spoiler section. Every week we talk about each episode in detail during the week. And one of the things that came up by more than one person is that we did the armor class and the TL for the PC Starship wrong. That's right. It was 1512 in the episode, but in reality, we forgot to put in the pilot ranks, so it actually should have been a 2219 AC and TL. Whoopsie. So one of the reasons for this is that Starships is one of the only things I think I've ever done in my life where all the PCs manage it together. Usually each player has their own character, so everyone's responsible for their own thing. But in this case, there's 4 people managing one Starship, and I don't know how it happened, but everybody missed it. So note to self, in the future, make sure exactly one person is in charge of the Starship and they check over all the math, make sure all the calculations are correct, because things like the shields and the targets, all those calculations change depending on who's actually flying the ship. So your AC and TL can change depending on who the pilot is. So you have to keep track of this all the time. I guess it's really no different than keeping track of your PC. This is a Starship that multiple people are playing, so it's a little different. And quite frankly, the rules, it's one of those things we don't do quite often enough that we all know the rules by heart, so it's going to take a few more tries before we get the hang of it. Something else I will note is this was a long combat, and it mostly had to do with the math. One thing our VTT, our virtual tabletop, is really good at, and it speeds up tremendously, is dice rolls, checks, and regular melee combat. It's almost all automated. I use D20 Pro, and it's fantastic. However, Starship Combat is not in there, and it really takes a long time, especially movement. Movement is very, very painful if Starship Combat in a VTT. So if anything, it probably takes 3 times longer, which makes Starship Combat kind of a chore for us. I'm not even sure we're going to keep Starship Combat in future episodes because it's just such a chore for us to do, and I'm not sure if it makes the most exciting podcast. However, a few notes for this week. I cut out as much as I could that was boring. I tried to keep in only the exciting bits, only the parts where we're ragging on each other or talking about things or making jokes or where action happens. Plus, I think Chris got a little tipsy during this episode. I don't know for sure. He said to me he was just taking cough medicine and it made him a little drowsy. But you guys listen and you tell me if Chris is drunk during this episode. It's hard to tell, but he might be. Also, one other thing that people said we were doing incorrectly, we keep referring to this thing called the sweet spot, which is a part in the arcs where you can actually fire either like the forward or the starboard or the forward or the port weapons. And the way we've been playing it is if that you hit that sweet spot, you can fire both. The rules are, however, you only get to fire one arc. Basically, the way the rules work is you get one arc and that's it. You can't fire more than one arc at a time. I didn't know that, and I like the way I've been ruling it. It makes piloting more tactical, it makes it more fun, and quite frankly, anything that can speed up combat, in my mind, is good. And also, it works both ways. The PCs get that sweet spot, and the NPCs get that sweet spot, so it's not like an unfair advantage. Everyone gets that extra attack if they manage to get into that location. I'm keeping it in for now, and I think other people I've been talking to, they actually like that rule too. It seems like there's a lot of happy accidents that happens in Starship Combat because it's still so new, and I don't hear a lot of people doing it. And even when I play it live, the rules are just, it's one of those things you just don't do a lot, and I see everyone doing it slightly differently. When I go to PaizoCon, I just have to sit down with the Paizo guys and do it once and for all with them so we know exactly how it's supposed to be done, because I've never seen it done twice exactly the same way. Anyhow, listen to this episode, enjoy, and let me know if you think Chris was drunk or not. Quick recap, since we're in the middle of a crazy fight. You guys have been ambushed while in the drift and have been assaulted by the Azlanti Empire, who told you to surrender immediately, which you did not. And they decided to attack you, and they've been pummeling you with light torpedoes left and right. The current status of your ship is you have 16 in your forward arc for shields, 26 in your port, 26 in your starboard, 0 in your aft, 17 damage on your hull, and your engines are glitching and your power core is glitching, which will give you a -2 to all your piloting and a -2 to all your engineering checks because your power core is glitching. A few notes to keep in mind is you guys haven't tried any of those new orders, but there are new orders you can try, like orders or overpower or lock on. There's these new, abilities that you got basically level 6 that you can try to maybe save you from death. And you've hit them a little and you've barely scratched their hull. You know that their AC is pretty high in the 20s and they are as fast as you. But what's really been knocking you guys around is that they have those torpedoes which do a ton of damage, and also there's these nebulous clouds that if you're inside of them, basically it's a 20% chance that something fired at you while you're inside the cloud will miss, but there's also all this lightning going on that might damage your ship, and that only affects you if you end your turn in the ship, not if you fly through it. So you can fly through it. So with that,
well, hold on. We need a damage report of their ship, too, because we've scanned it. We actually do have some damage on their ship.
John Stats is playing the Vesk soldier, Mo Dupinsky.
Yeah, I said there was some damage.
Well, no,
you barely scratched.
We have details, dude.
No, you don't. You have details on the ship. Yeah, you knew there's speed 10, maneuverability 1, drift rating of 2, so you can't outrun them.
No, you'd have to do another scan to get it.
You'd have to do another scan. That's something you have to keep track of yourself. I don't do that for you. You keep track of the damage.
Okay, but I can't remember something we did 3 weeks ago.
Well, you should have kept better notes like I did.
All right.
Plus, they can redo their shields at any point. You have hit their hull once, and it was for about 1 or 2 points. That is all you've done. Otherwise, you've been hitting their shields continuously. That is what I will tell you.
I thought we had their shields down to a certain, we had more hull than they did, and they had more shields than we did, or something like that. It was reverse.
No, they didn't have much in the way of shields. They only had 70, yeah.
Jason McDonald is playing the Ahsoka mechanic, Tuttle Blacktail, and his drone, Cheddar.
Their shields are 70, and they have 65 hull points. They have the exact amount of hull points as you do. You guys had 160 shields, and they're almost gone, and they've just been pounding you to death because their armor class is in the 20s. And that's the problem. You just don't have as much armor as they do.
That's
so.
right. And we're probably been missing every single roll, rolling 2s and 3s.
Yes, I can confirm that we have missed 90% of our rolls.
Chris Beamer is playing the Lashunta operative, Hiroji.
So with that, we start a new round where you can decide who is going to do what.
Mo will do guns as per usual. Turret.
I thought I was doing piloting, but maybe guns too.
Can one of you engineers actually fix the drive or do anything like that, like damage control for a turn? I mean, do we have the manpower for that?
There is an action to try to fix that.
I mean, if we have an extra guy, I don't know if
we don't. I mean, I have one
then.
hand on my piloting stick and one hand on my trigger finger, and
all right. Well, start volunteering for something.
And the problem is, I can either rebalance the shields again, or I can leave the back door completely open to fix the system.
I am actually. I thought that Rusty was piloting now, right?
That's what I thought.
I
too.
most recently piloted because we discovered you have +1 higher to hit than I do from the gunning.
Bob Marquis is playing the human envoy, Rusty Carter.
Yes,
but it's fairly close. You are more experienced at actually moving the ship around. I will certainly grant.
Like, we may have to go into full power mode and get the F out of here.
Well, if the plan is run away, I'm fine with that. I will actually go for a full power move every single round. In that direction.
I warned you that their ship is literally twice as fast as your ship. You can try to run away, but
we can't run away then. Full speed is only 1.5 times our regular speed.
Well, my plan is almost like ramming speed, and then board them and take our risks in open space.
That sounds like a very good way to die.
No, we just have to roll better than 1s and 2s. That's really what this comes down to.
This group has got difficulty with that. This is a tough group with that.
Well,
but yeah,
it's time
let's
for
get
us
lucky
to
tonight. Yeah, I'm gonna bet on the lightning over, and let's do it. Lightning over a 10. Every time I roll above a 10, I get $100.
So you're gonna be gunner.
Right.
Yeah, gunner all day, all night.
There we go.
And
there we
6
go.
times on
I
Sunday.
am a pilot.
And we're captainless or rudderless.
Well, I'm going to bark orders at all of you. Don't worry about that.
If you're not sitting in the chair, don't count.
Well, actually, it's the chair is me, if you want to put it that way. It's wherever I'm sitting is the captain's chair.
So is no one piloting? I mean, how does that work?
I am piloting.
No,
okay.
Rusty's piloting, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'm a way better piloter and a gunner and a captain than he is, but I can only do one job.
Mo, this is your captain. I want you. You know that red button in front of you? Just keep pressing that. Just do that. Hit that button that says fire. That's the one.
Yeah. I'll do that right after I roll my 3.
The Staples "This is easy" button.
Right.
Do you guys want shields, or do you guys want me to try to fix the drive?
I would love more power to weapons. Somehow.
I think that is an engineering call. I'm happy with you making that decision.
Scotty, I want both of those to happen.
Because I don't know what either of those means. So I know balancing shields, but I mean, frankly, I don't know. At this point, we have
shields
to win.
Will matter
initiative.
if they're able to shoot us in the aft. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, because right now we got no shields on the aft. So if they win the piloting and get around behind us, they do all hull damage.
Well, then that's what they're gonna have to do.
I guess
I'm gonna balance shields then.
All right.
It strikes me.
Which puts me in the science officer seat.
Yep, turn around to the science station instead of the engineering station. We get you a swivel chair, right?
Yeah, exactly.
All
right. First up is engineering. They can divert, hold it together patch, but we don't have an engineer. You're going to be science officer, right? Because you're going to rebalance shields.
Yep.
So next is helm phase, where we do a roll off to go first. And I think we're both exactly. Who's the pilot?
I am the pilot. I have 7 ranks, and
yeah, it's 7 versus 7. We actually both have 7. So
yeah, but we have the -2 for the glitch.
I don't know if that affects it.
There we go.
Nice, Bob.
Yeah, I rolled a 15. He rolled an 18. So,
but however, the
I go
-2
first.
does matter that I only won by 1.
Yes, if the -2, I don't think the -2. You know what? I don't know.
Probably
It does.
doesn't
It
apply.
affects piloting. Yep.
But piloting is not initiative, though.
I'm gonna look
It
this
is
up while
initiative.
we're playing, and I'm gonna go first, and then we'll worry about it.
Yeah, you go first, and then I'm gonna go deal.
All right, there he goes. He's there.
Mm.
Goes way to the right, inside another one of those luminous clouds.
Right.
Mm.
I move and then turn. I should be able to fire with more than one weapon from that spot.
Well, you can fire 2, but there's always a sweet spot of 3, though.
That's true. There is a sweet spot of 3. I forget what that is.
Well, we only have 2 gunners, though. That's the problem.
Someone can shoot twice.
That's true.
I can shoot actually twice at a -2.
Thank you.
Gunner and actually, science officer goes now too.
Yep, that'll be a computer's check.
I think you get this on a 2, don't you?
You need
Something
a
like that.
19 to balance the shields. On the
Yeah.
computer's
Yeah,
check.
he gets
22 barely makes it. Barely makes it. How do you wish to rebalance
No.
the shields?
I'm sorry, what was the raw? What were the raw totals again? It was like 26.
26 plus 26 plus 16. Bob is math boy.
68.
Divided by 4.
Oh, well, 17.
I think they can only hit our forward shields, actually, can't they?
No, that is correct.
Divert all energy to forward shields.
Just go even and do 17 to each.
To be fair, actually, well, at this point, they can't hit our aft, but okay. But yes,
No, he's probably right,
It's
because
probably
it
best to balance it,
doesn't
though.
do
Yeah.
this next round. It's probably safer to have a dispersal.
We're eventually going to miss initiative, and they'll just fly around behind us and shoot. You're right.
All right, well, they're going to go first, and they are going to shoot their light plasma cannon. 9 plus a
Oh, sure it
14. I
Hits.
think that's going to hit. So it hits, yeah. And oh my god, 2d12 does 13 points of damage. So kaboof, knocks
It's
off
average.
5. You have 5 forward shields left, and that's all they do. That's it. You're up.
Woohoo! All right. I suggest Chris and I should take the +2 from the ships.
Hells yes.
Oh, actually, no. Actually, do we get +3? Because we have higher
Hells
computer.
yes.
No, you get 1d20 plus your ranks in piloting, or your BAB, so it's probably 7, plus your dex modifier, plus +2 for the ship's computer systems. Plus, if you're going to use the duo node, you get another +3. So
Yeah,
you always
right.
get
It's-
a +9, which is the 7 plus the 2 for the computers. So you're going to get a d20 +9 no matter what.
Okay, that checks out with me because I was rolling +15 last time. I am going to take a -2 modifier and unleash a broadside attack, which allows my gunner to shoot twice, use 2 weapons at the Star Empire ship. Chris, do you have any objections to that? Would you like to roll twice?
I have no objections to that. I
Okay.
wholeheartedly.
Wait, you're doing fired will? Fired will gives you a -4 to hit. Keep it.
No. I'm not doing fire at will. If you're level 6, you have broadside. It does basically the same thing, but you only get -2. That's one of the abilities.
And don't
we
you have to
get.
spend something?
Oh yes, I spend a
resolve
point, which I won't need really.
Well,
So you
yeah.
think. But okay.
Well, I've got a gazillion.
When you're dead, I'm going to take your oxygen.
Okay.
All
right.
In your,
But what I'm saying, does Roji have a better attack than +15?
yes.
Okay, then you should shoot twice. So go ahead, shoot twice, Hiroji. Show us what you're made of.
But am I firing the turret that does the most damage? or-
No, I'll do the turret. You shoot the forward and the let's see, starboard. I assume that's a
That
starboard.
is correct.
Yeah.
That is correct.
Am I taking minus?
You're at plus 14
I'm a plus 16, and then do I have a minus 2?
with a
right?
minus 2. Yeah. So
All right, I'm going to put the modifier in,
Okay.
and let's make it happen. First die. Roll.
Which one is this? The forward gun?
Forward gun.
Okay, here we go. Light particle beam, and he rolls a 21.
that's so hit.
He
What's with the
barely hits the ship.
I thought he needs
Beautiful.
an 18. We need an 18 to hit.
21 to hit.
Really?
Yes.
All right.
Oh, that's fine. How much damage?
3d6. No modifiers.
I'm going to roll in succession. Oops, sorry. Hold
That's the wrong thing.
on. That's my 3d6.
12 points of damage. So you take some, you hit the shields. Kaboo, boo, boo. Shields are still holding. Second shot.
Also,
gyro laser.
Also only at the plus 14.
Yeah,
There we
this
go.
is a
That's
D8
correct.
damage.
That's
30.
There you go. That's
Oh, wait.
20.
That's a
Crit.
crit.
That's 20. That's a crit. That's an automatic. You automatically critical damage one of the weapons. So one of the
Wow.
which is very big. So
Missiles.
Roll. You don't get to choose. Roll your damage 1d8.
I'm going to roll in succession.
There's only one. It's 1d8. Oh, you did 8 points, really? So you actually destroyed the forward shields and hit a little
I
bit.
doubled it. No,
You hit-
I rolled 2.
No. That's not how it works.
Okay.
When you crit, you just automatically hit one of their systems. You don't do double damage.
Beautiful.
So roll a 1d100 to see what system you hit. You hit a little bit of their hull, by the way. The forward
I
shields.
think we want to roll high on this.
All right, hold on.
Roll 1d100.
If the modifiers are messing this up, so I'm going to take those out, and I'll roll
Low is good.
98.
98.
Wow, there you
Well,
go.
you have a minus
High
one
is-
there, so it's actually 99. You hit their power core.
That's got to be good.
It affects
gotta be.
engineering checks. It's not that great.
Yeah.
So you hit their power. So you see like smoke coming out of the rear of the ship. Who's firing next, John? You up?
Yeah, that's me. All right, so Mo's going to
Their
attack. at
shields
a,
are down. Please do not miss.
Oh, wait a second. I forgot something. They're inside the nebula. You have a 20% miss chance.
20%
of
miss
each
chance.
of those attacks.
Oh, they have don't they have a chance of getting hit by lightning?
No, I'll take care of that. That's
Okay.
When they
that
end their
happens
turn
on
there,
turn.
which they
Happens
did.
on their turn. Don't worry about
All
it.
right. Low is bad. High is good. Always.
Yep.
First roll. Of course it's a miss.
No, you roll the 1d20.
No,
the one.
Yeah, you roll the
it's
D10.
a
right,
100.
sorry.
Get rid of the -1.
Also, get rid of your -1.
Yeah, chances are you're going to roll under 20 if you roll a D20.
Why'd you put it a +19?
Well, he still got it, but
You're
yes,
such an-
okay.
I'm not gonna allow that. I'm gonna make you roll it again. You're gonna do that.
I did that because I needed it to be not a 20.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
very
that's cheating, cheater.
Yeah, but you saw it immediately. It's like
Well, of course we all saw it. Yes.
Fine. Your first
Transparent.
attack hits. Roll your second attack.
that's a fail.
Oh, that failed.
That
You
is a
see,
fail.
I
That's a
knew
fail.
it. I knew the gods were gonna get you.
The
You lose
critical hit is
crit.
the one that failed. All right.
You lose the crit.
Of course.
Good day to you, sir. I say good day.
Good day.
Well, that's par for the course. Sure.
Well, I'd rather do damage. So,
Well, you lose the damage, so the shields miraculously
no.
grow back, and you did not crit them, and you did not hit their hull. You're up, John.
The main
All
thing
right.
is winning the initiative to not go second.
turret attacks. That's
You hit.
not a crit. Actually, no, that's a crit. That's a natural. Oh, actually, no, that's
No,
not.
it's not. It would be 33. You
17.
missed. Go.
Okay.
Ooh, light particle beam. 3d6. Roll your 3d6. Wow, that was terrible.
Well,
8
now their
points of
shields are
damage.
Jesus.
Okay, now you did hit now you did hit paint, and they have a little bit of damage.
20% chance of missing.
Oh, that's right. I keep forgetting that.
That is a good point.
Lowest.
Oh, you made it 31. Okay, you're fine.
You should have put a plus 19.
No, because then I would have. You put in any pluses, you miss. That's
Now,
the rule.
don't they have a 20% chance of missing us because they're inside the
Nope.
cloud?
No, that's not how it works.
Oh.
But they have begins to must make a check or they get struck by lightning. So it's the beginning of the next round. So who is going to do what? Who is going to be which?
Like same roles, yes.
If we want to be more defensive, Chris, you could take over piloting, go evade for a bit, and I could try and debuff them, by which I mean taunt them. It does last for D4 rounds if I have success, and I get to make a buff check.
They're going to hit us every single time.
And I think we've kind of decided that that's what's going to happen. But yeah, still, that's fine. So then we're in the same roles. I will be pilot.
Well,
what
Jason
about Jason?
Jason's definitely got a chance to switch.
Yeah, I might switch to engineer. Hold on just a second.
Jason has a new overpower ability in engineering, which looks pretty cool.
If by overpower you mean self-destruct, I'm all for it. I will get into a pod, and I'm out of here.
Believe it or not, that is something that you can buy for a ship, which you do not have.
We had pods. We have escape pods.
I know, but they actually do have self-destruct on their ship, by the way. So
it's good to know because they're going to be in the Matari
Nebula
soon.
We call those pods target practice, is what we call them.
Exactly. Well, wait, there's no life ratings on that pod.
Yeah.
Well, let it go.
We shoot it anyway. I don't know why those guys are so light on the trigger.
They're paid by the bullet. They're paid by the bullet.
Are these guys in the military or what? I mean, God,
it's going to Tatooine. It's like, let us.
Dude, if there's any American in that room, those would be some dead droids.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do engineering.
Right. So you're up first, Mr. Jason.
All right, I'm going to do the overpower action.
Oh,
nice.
do tell us what it does, please, since this is new to everyone.
You may remember that I have the divert action where I can send power to like one system, like I can increase our speed by 2, or I can heal the shields. Well, the overpower, you spend a resolve point, and you can do 3 systems at once. So you can get kind of. Well, the benefits are not huge benefits, but they are helpful, I suppose.
That actually is very good. And by the way, the DC is lower than what's in the rulebook. The DC is a 24, by the way. So it's not, they lowered all the DCs in the FAQ. So if you do your overpower, you just need to do an engineering check of 24. However, because the power core is glitching, you did a -2. So it's actually, either you get a -2 or it's a 26, however you want to do it.
Just to make it a 26, so I don't have to adjust my roll.
26 it is. So, are you trying to overpower? Scotty, give me more power. 36.
36 will be just fine.
Just fine. Okay, so what are you overpowering? What systems?
I assume I can't do multiples on the same system, right?
It's 3 separate systems.
Yeah, so let's
Weapons.
do speed.
Weapons.
Let's do weapons, and let's do shields. Well, the weapons benefit is, I mean, we're going to do it, but just so you know, the weapons benefit isn't that great. Just change, if you roll a 1 on the damage die, you change it to a 2.
That's helpful.
So lackluster.
That's helpful. Dude, for 3d6, are you kidding me? That's a great thing.
I know, but you're right. But I mean,
because we're going to roll multiple ones. That's extra damage just for free.
Okay,
I mean,
well, the engines is good. You get +2 to your speed, so now you can move 12.
We get back 5% of our PCU and shields.
Which is like 7, which isn't that so bad. I think it's just distributed equally, right? It's like 2, 2, and 1. So I'll do that.
That's a great thing.
7 in the front, 19 in the port.
Can he do one system twice?
No.
Believe me, if I could, I'd probably put all 3 in the shields. But...
Shield.
And then the guns thing, if you roll a 1 on any damage die, it turns into a 2.
We call that the Sunrise Maiden maneuver.
The Sunrise Maiden Gambit.
It's the Keeley in Starship form.
Yeah.
Keeley.
Standard operating procedure.
Okay, so who is piloting this sucker?
Woohoo!
I rolled a 10 plus 7. 17.
And -2 for me, but I rolled a
21. You win, so I go first. Yep. And now he has to do a check, otherwise he gets fried by electricity. Let's see if he makes
Yes,
the check.
I mean, winning the initiative is the most important thing in space.
Without a doubt.
18 plus 19. They easily avoid the elemental lightning damage.
Let him stay in there.
That's it.
You're gonna enjoy.
Oh, it's a piloting check, too.
It's a piloting check. Their piloting is a plus 19, so they're very good.
We should be doing that.
Yeah, no, that was
You're right,
good information to get.
Like depending on what he does, like we could park in the next one over, and this just
Yeah. Well, the main thing we've been going for is maximum arc of fire. I mean, that has been our primary goal so far.
Well, he's got to move first. So what's he do? Stays there?
Arc of fire is what he's going to do.
You're gonna ram us.
Flyby!
I was wondering about that. Okay. We get a free attack. Oh, hold on. Let me reread that.
That's where he ends up. So he flies by you. He's going to do his check to see. He moves through one square, and all he has to do is perform a piloting check. And his piloting check for flyby is 24. So let's go. And you know what? He's going to add +2 to this check. So it's 21.
Oh, that's not so good.
28.
I see a 7.
Plus, I didn't put in the
7.
plus. Plus 21 is a 28. All he needed was a 24.
How does he get a plus 21?
Because he has
I
a
don't have a
19
plus 21.
pilot.
He's got a plus 21.
He has a base plus 19 pilot.
Because
It's a
he's
plus
from the
19.
Azlanti Empire. Come on.
Yes, they're superior in every way.
Yeah.
I laugh at that.
And then they used his computer, so he gave you a +2. So he does it, which means he will get a free attack during the attack phase on any
But like
quadrant he
our
wants.
pluses are like +8, and he's got a plus 21.
You go.
I have a +2 to my movement, don't I? 12 instead
That is
of 10.
correct.
Great.
That is correct.
Then I know I can get to the position I want for maximum
You
fire.
get
rate.
into the nebula, and
That will reduce the amount of attacks we can make.
it's okay because we get 20% miss chance. We can't get hit anymore. I enjoy.
Oh, we
this.
won't be able to get hit with 20% miss. Oh, I didn't know that was actually a universal.
Well, it's a 20%. Yes.
John, I'm actually going to go with you. Do you want to attack less or get 20%?
I think you're piloting. I support your decision.
Excellent.
And you're captain, so you can overrule all sorts of nonsense.
Just make sure you know the range of our guns. Is that where you're trying to go, Bob?
That is maximum weapons, I think.
But yeah.
I think that's maximum.
Thought you
weapons.
wanted to get in the nebula.
No, Chris wanted to get in the nebula. I wanted
That's maximum weapons. A gambit.
All right. Yeah.
All right. Who's going? I fire first.
Doesn't Jason? Oh wait. Yeah.
He already went.
No, I did my thing. I was on engineer, so I went
That's
first
right.
this round.
That's
So
right.
first thing they get is a free attack. And should they use their light plasma cannon, or their light plasma cannon? Which do you guys suggest? I think I'm going to use their light plasma cannon. And they're going to roll. And they get, let's see, it is a plus.
Right. If they roll 0, then they miss. Right.
They get a +40 hit.
Starfinder. Yeah, because it's Starfinder.
They are going to hit your forward. Because they... Oh my god! Alright, well you have 0, and you take
That's
1
about
point
average.
of hull damage. 8 points of damage, so you're up to 18 on your hull. And now they do their regular attack. And the regular attack is using their forward late laser plasma cannon. Which they hit. If you notice, there's no more torpedoes.
We did notice that. Because,
Yeah.
they're all lying in our hull. Yeah.
Bo's got his arm resting on one of them right now.
Yep.
Alright, that hits you for 12 points of damage, which means it's going to crit another one of your systems. 22.
Yeah, that actually hurt. Yeah.
Your science is glitching. Your sensors. They hit your sensors.
He hit Cheddar?
You cheddar. You guys
No, we lost our 2. We lost our 2.
That is true.
Hang on, Cheddar.
Oh,
Stay on target.
stay on target. Okay, well, that's it. You have no forward arc, and you have 30 hit points of damage out of 65. You're up. You fire them torpedoes.
Oh, let's. Oh my god! I wish I had a self-destruct mode right now. John,
Yeah, shoot twice. Go ahead.
that's me.
Yep, that's you. All you. You got that
Broadside.
kind
Open.
+1.
Bah. That's got to be it.
What
Why
is
is
it?
that?
12 plus
It's
What's
that
your bonus?
12 plus 14.
14, so you hit. Roll 1d100 to see if you miss.
Nope.
90,
That's a hit.
86, so you hit. And you were doing, I presume, your forward cannon, so
Yes.
what's that? 3d6.
I would prefer 4, but okay. 10 damage. Average.
I'd
Below
like to change
average.
those 2s to a 3. Oh, damn it.
I know. Okay, my second attack is going to be a good one. This is with the arc laser, or no? It's a turret. Yes or no?
You would probably do the arc. You would do the gyro laser since
My
he
gyro
was-
laser. Here we go.
So just roll. I'll take your first
What
one.
the heck is
Right.
that?
Hey, you rolled a 10 plus
24.
So you,
That's a hit.
24, you hit.
Which is-
1d100. 1d100.
Oh.
1d100.
I don't know why it's rolling twice. I don't even
62, you hit. So roll 1d8 to hit. 6 points of damage.
Yay!
You actually crit one of their systems. Roll a 1d100 to see what system you hit of theirs. 47. That's actually the one you wanted. That hits a weapons array. Give me a 1d4 to decide which weapons array you hit.
I'll already tell you it's going to be the torpedoes.
Well, it's automatically. So you hit the starboard. So the starboard is hit. And that is, they actually do have a light plasma cannon on the starboard. And they have a light plasma torpedo launcher on the turret, which is all quadrants. So they both are now at a -2.
Nice.
Glitched their torpedoes.
Nice. And their cannon. Yes.
Yes, and their cannon. That's
Okay.
correct.
And the horse they're rid of.
Torpedoes are done.
We're done, right? Oh, John goes. John, are you going?
Yeah.
All right.
John, I think we have John Doe has the upper hand.
I
think
am
we have it.
shooting once, so I have a plus 15. Rolling. Okay, that
Yikes,
is a
29, you hit.
Nice.
You damage.
Yeah, that's 29 hit.
3d6.
9.
9.
And I'm
points of
going to roll a
damage.
D100 to see if I miss.
That's right.
There
Low
we go.
is a miss. Not a miss.
All right. You hit more of their hole. They're starting to look a little beat up like you.
Do I get a crit out of that?
No. So
Oh.
nope.
Okay.
Every 20% is a crit, so you kind of get an idea of how far you've gotten because, so every
That-
20%. So
20% of their initial.
hole of their initial hole. They've
Oh,
been hit.
that's a
They have
lot.
exactly one
Wow.
crit
Okay.
so far because another one didn't count. You get a crit if you get 20% of the hole, or you roll a 20. And that's how it works. And we're up to next rounds. Is anyone changing?
All
anything?
right. Just think we should be on their starboard side.
I'm going to
Okay.
jump back on science and do another round of shield balancing.
They're going to roll their plus 21 not to get hit by lightning. Well, they make it.
Whoa.
They 31, so they
Nice.
easily avoid the lightning damage. The lightning damage is a lot, by the way, so if they do get hit, it'll be interesting. And is everyone doing the same rolls?
Yes, sir.
I
Sure.
think I'm all right. Yeah.
16 from my pilot check. Beat that, Bob. not beat
Oh,
it.
but my roll was less. That's right. You were not adding the 7.
Yes,
so
well,
yes.
16.
And I got a 13. There you go.
You go first.
All right. I rolled a 14, I should say. So, yes, I move first. Well, this will be interesting then. Okay.
Now we should go in the cloud.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. But where do I want to? Okay, so.
Even if we only get 2 weapons, it's okay. Winning initiative is great, though.
Okay.
Beth.
It is, I agree. Our forward is damaged more at the moment, though he's balancing the shields. Where do we have the most hull damage right now?
Well, there's no hull damage isn't by quadrant. Once
Oh,
into
it's
the
everywhere.
hull,
Oh,
it's
okay.
into
Then
the
that
hull.
it won't matter where I'm facing at the end. Then. Okay,
Yeah, they're
that's
they're
fine.
just going to put them. They can go twice our speed, so they can put us
All right.
put themselves anywhere.
All right. So I'm going to end there, but I'm going to do it as an evade maneuver in driving it. Yeah, that's 9 to get there, so that doesn't matter. Okay, I'm doing an evade.
Finally, someone decides to use some intelligence.
Yes, thank you.
Well, I mean, thank God we have a captain that's also a great pilot. I mean,
Evade.
Plus 13. It's a piloting check. Do I have negatives on my piloting because of
You
some
do. You have a -2, so you need
So I'm
a
only
DC
putting a plus
20.
11.
It's a DC 21 basically, or you can take off.
And
wait.
I'm-
Oh,
wait,
it's easy.
so you
That's
moved.
easy.
You moved all the way over there, and
Yeah.
we don't get to fight and shoot.
Oh,
No,
don't,
they get
no,
to
he's
go.
going to come
don't
after
worry
us in
about
a
it. Don't
minute.
worry about
That's
it.
fine. At any rate,
They're
I'm
gonna
rolling
move.
my evade. Great. I've successfully evaded.
Wow.
We get a +2 to our armor class and for till the next round.
Steve, I take a lot of things back. Next turn, I'm going to take piloting rollover. Sorry.
Chris, when the bad guys go, there.
Hello. There you
Now
go.
you're in range.
Yep, go ahead and
Quit
fire
your-
at him.
Quit
With
your
your
bitching.
aft.
Quit your bitch.
Realistically, we're going to fire with the turret, of course. So
No aft weapons.
Who's rebalancing the shields?
One weapon.
Jason? Rebalancing the shields?
Yeah, I'm rebalancing the shields.
You have 19, 19, and 19, and 0. So,
Did we lose initiative? Or?
yeah, you lost initiative. So.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
So that should rebalance them.
Yes, that rebalances. You just need a 19. You rolled a 27, even though you get a -2. Do you get a -2?
All right, for the glitching science station.
Yes, for the glitching
So
science
14 and a quarter each. I assume that it rounds down.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? You would do that before I moved. So what would be 14 each or something? Or?
Well, and there's an extra point to put somewhere. It's 57. It's 3 times 19.
I would say aft. Doesn't matter though.
I don't think you get to choose. I think it puts the extra on the front, so I think it's 15 on the front and 14 on the rest.
There you go.
That is correct. So you have 15, 14, 14, 14. Okay, they're up. You fire first. Go right ahead.
Yay! Turret and aft.
And that would be Mo.
You want me to attack first?
Well, I mean, we only get one attack, right?
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll attack.
Which
Right,
would be
so-
the
I mean,
turret.
what's the best?
so-
What's the weapon that does the most damage? Is
That's what I'm using.
Do
Like
it.
that one. All
Do
right.
it.
So he's going
Do it.
to just roll plus 15 to hit. Nothing fancy. 31.
Thank you. Thank
Nice. Rolled a 16. Very good.
Okay, you go.
Oh,
Okay.
God. This is unbelievable.
you. Wow.
This is really, this is just over and over. Oh,
Hold on,
it's
hold
just-
on. You might get 20%, and it won't matter.
Yeah, you're right.
20%
Here we are.
chance.
Low was a miss. Yeah.
There you
miss.
go. See, it didn't
Nice.
matter. That was fine. Don't worry about it.
Perfect. I'll just be here. I'll be
So
watching.
say you're
I'll be
level,
watching.
you're 7 damage, you do 0. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, Mo is going to rub the window that's gotten a little foggy so he can at least watch combat. So that's what he's going to do this turn.
I know. Mo, I'm with you. I mean, let's low roll twice on an 80% win chance and low roll. People put millions of dollars on an 80% win chance and then hit 11. That's terrible.
Light plasma cannon. Ooh, natural 20. So they're gonna crit you unless I miss. Let's do the
20%.
1d100. 61.
Oh, he picked 61 to 80 to miss.
Well,
I did not. I chose.
Oh, I'm sorry. You didn't really say it out loud.
I-
So
no, it's-
honestly, that means we don't really know.
Lo
what
was
we're
a
doing.
miss.
55
It's
to
in
75.
the
Oh,
rules.
is
It's
that the
in
way it
the
goes? If
rules.
you don't announce
It's-
it, I
it's
mean, pretty
in
much
the
theoretically
rules.
anything.
Of course
It's
it
in the
is.
rules.
Yeah, high is always good.
Oh, but I only did 6 points of damage on your aft. It didn't even.
That's
hurt.
average. That's average.
6 points of 2d12?
2d12.
You say that's average on everything, but I still do.
Well,
this.
it's because
Yeah.
that's what Mo rolls. I mean, how else would I know that
44.
what's average?
That's not good. That's one of your weapon systems. That is your forward gun and turret, buddy, is glitching. So you get a -2 to your turret and your forward gun going forward. It's awfully quiet suddenly.
Tuttle, we need help on guns.
You guys are all
I
going
don't
to be
even know if they can
fried.
repair those.
No, you can repair it. You can be repaired. With that being said, let's start the next round. Who's doing what?
I'm gonna jump over engineer and try to fix the guns.
Okay, everyone else the same. First thing we need, a piloting check to avoid the plasma of the lightning going through.
This I did wonder about. Never tell me the odds. Let's find out if I make it. Okay, I rolled a 2.
You roll 13. You get struck by a bolt of elemental lightning. That does.
I was afraid of this. Yeah.
8 points of damage to the aft arc, which is exactly how many shields points you had there. So it goes to 0. So the good news is you took 8 points of damage, but now your shields are totally gone. And now they do it, by the way. And they're fine as they roll.
They rolled higher than a 2. Yes.
They roll a
but this
35
2.
or something. No, 37.
Well, it was bound to happen. Eventually, the rolls were going to catch up with us.
Anyhow, who's up next? Wait,
Probably engineering, I would imagine.
engineering is up. That is correct.
I'm going to try to fix the guns. Though I guess there's 2 different fix options. There's hold it together and there's actually patch.
Yes, hold it together will bring it they'll just fix it. They'll actually be like nothing happened.
No, I think it's hold together is for the rest of the round, but it's 2 steps. Whereas the other one, patch, is only 1 step, but it's permanent until that system takes damage again. So I'm going to try to patch the guns.
Okay, the DC to patch is only a 19. Actually, but you have a
So
minus
should
2
be.
for the power core, so it's actually 21 for you.
So this should be pretty close to automatic still. I mean, I think I failed like a 3.
A natural
38.
20.
Oh.
Yeah.
Now we
So-
get our natural 20.
All right, cool. You
The guns are about as fixed as they could be.
You're like, I fixed them, fellas. Go to town. Now we roll off. I get a 12 plus 7, 19.
I got
You
a
get
10.
A 17. You go first.
Yeah, well,
Bob.
hiding in the storm did well. Hey, look,
It's totally
I've
random.
won 2. I've lost 2 of our 4 rounds. What do you want?
Yeah, but we have to win to win. With the
Okay.
that roll.
I you know what? That pep talk. That's what I needed, right?
He should be captain.
Ha! No, that will never be the case. We'd all die. All right, how do I want to do this? Do I want to end up in a storm again? Because I did not do well in the roll last time. We're going to end up taking more damage, I think. Okay, they're never going to miss hitting us with the 20%, are they? So us being in the storm does not really end up working. Jason, which are our best shields right now?
Everything except the aft, I believe. Because we
Okay.
rebalanced
That's
and then they
correct.
hit us in the aft.
15, 14, 14,
By
0.
by 1 point, forward shields are best. It's like 15, 14, 14, 0.
That is correct.
We're going to end up there.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, that's good.
fine,
That's
fine.
good.
Yeah,
Don't worry,
and
don't worry.
I'm
That's good.
moving to evade, so
All right.
I did not successfully evade. I needed a 21, but I didn't miss by 5, so there was no negative. So, no effect.
Mm.
And that's why I always evade. It's unless you miss by 5.
But
which
wait, is
hard.
it a piloting roll for your pilot skill or just
Yes, it is your pilot's skill in order to do an evade check.
So
but
you
we're
only
gonna
get a
minus
plus 7? Oh, you got 11.
and
11, sorry.
There's an 11 there. Yeah.
Yep, sorry.
All right, he's out in deep space now.
That was a really good positioning, Bob.
Thank you.
I mean, rusty.
Thank you. Yes, and Mr. Dupinski, you've been doing well. Actually, you haven't hit the broadside of the ship yet. But still, you're doing
Yeah.
a fine job. That's all right.
But Hiroju's.
He did a flyby. Let's see if he was successful with this flyby. So they are successful with the flyby.
Guys, shoot.
Mo, you want to go first?
Sure. I'll attack. I'll just roll a d20. That's plus 15, 18. I miss.
You missed. That is correct.
All right. What am I firing? Which weapon? I'm firing my most powerful weapon now.
Forward. Okay. So you hit. So do damage.
D3d6.
That's correct. 10. Holy moly.
Average.
You managed to crit another system of theirs, a second
Thank
system.
you. D100 rolled.
D100. 48.
Oh, I think I hit the same one.
Weapons.
Weapons do a 1d4.
Same one.
Oh, now the starboard is gone all the way down to malfunctioning, which means it's a minus
All right.
4.
Well, that's something.
Anyhow, they're going to do their free attack. And their free attack will probably hit, but let's do the 1d100 because they rolled a 15. 1d100, let's see. Low will miss. 83. That hits.
He missed. He got an 81 to 100.
I said
That's
low.
what I was thinking.
I said
That's a
low.
That's
will
a hit.
miss.
Oh,
always low.
Yeah.
It's always
just
low.
so
Always
confusing.
low.
Yeah, okay.
13.
Ouch.
Always to the aft. Always to the butt.
Well, not in this case. He can't face us.
Doesn't matter. That was the flyby. It's
Oh,
any flyby
flyby.
he wants.
Yeah. No, flyby. That's right.
Yeah, they haven't even attacked us.
That was just a flyby, and he's going to hit, and he does a glitch on one of your systems. An 8 life support. That's just the captain. So your life support is glitching, your sensors are glitching, your weapons are glitching, your engines are glitching, and your power core is glitching. Other than that, you're doing great. Now they're going
We're
to
still mobile. We're still in the game.
11 plus 14. Once again, they hit, and they do on your forward. That's not your forward. That is actually your starboard. 5. Are you kidding me? The only thing that's saving your ass is I'm rolling atrociously on damage. 2d12 of 5.
Ah, man, I keep hitting every round, but my damage is substandard. This is awful.
That is great for us, actually.
Can't
It's average
believe you're
13. 5 is way below average.
This is way below average. All right, you 43 hit points out of 65. You're almost dead. I'm gonna do everything in my power to kill you.
That's
roll
okay.
your piloting check to see if you
Yeah,
get hit by
so let's see.
lightning.
Bob,
Here's where we're
Bob.
gonna run into a problem.
Bob.
Oh wait, I have a
Birthday,
1d100 to see if that missed. That hit.
It
Oh
is.
no, it missed. It missed because the first one was a 1. So
Oh, great.
yeah, I didn't even do that damage to you. So even better. So you guys,
Rusty.
look at that. I rolled a 1.
Rusty.
Okay,
That's
so
awesome.
now, what actually is the number I need to avoid this lightning?
26.
Oof. See, that's not good.
But it's
Nope.
Nope.
Here's the problem: is I need to roll a 15. So
Roll a d20 or the lightning misses.
now the lightning.
That's not how it
goes that
works.
way. I need to roll a 15 to avoid the lightning. So actually, the lightning is
11.
actually getting more dangerous than it is.
11 on your forward arc because it's random. So it takes out 11 of your shield, so you have 4 shield left in your forward arc. If you're lucky, then hit your aft. You get hit by lightning while being in the nebula. Who is
Yeah, the
doing that
nebula is
roll?
not our friend. I'm sorry, guys.
Who is the nebula is doing more
I
damage
think
than
we
I
should
am.
do a flyby. That is a good maneuver.
No, it's not. The flyby also opens us up to a free attack by him if I miss the piloting check. You see how missing the piloting check just got us hit by the lightning? Missing piloting checks is something that happens.
but
not
if
for
you,
me.
DC
if
is
you roll
probably-
good, you roll
You're
good, roll
right.
15.
If you're right. If all this happens, you're
I'm
right.
fine with everyone doing whatever they want. I'm gonna be on this turret.
If you ever heard the expression, if ifs and buts were candies and nuts, every day would be Christmas.
Okay,
Continue.
okay, Santa Claus.
Thank
so what are
you.
you going to
Yeah.
do, Jason?
Oh, geez. So basically, the side shields are about all we've got left.
No, you have port of a 14, starboard of 14, forward of 4, and aft of 0. Because one of those attacks missed. So your forward is 4,
Yeah, no, I guess.
and your port, yeah. So you still have shields left, not a lot.
All right, I'm gonna go jump on science and do a divert. Make it 8 on each quadrant. That gives us a little bit.
It's amazing how you had 140 shields. Okay,
Yeah,
roll
this
off.
fight is
We're
not going
fighting.
well at
we're
all.
fighting Wrath of
14
Khan,
plus 7,
superhuman,
21.
like genetically engineered superhuman,
Go, gadget.
and their ship that they can
Yep.
build.
You lose.
Nope.
You go first.
Yeah, that's also the third time in a row we've missed that roll, which is not very helpful.
It's actually horrific. It's horrifically bad. It's like
Well,
it's
yeah.
between 1 attack and 3 attacks.
Well, you're jiggering the shields, so it doesn't matter where I end up, but I'm afraid I can't do the nebula anymore, guys. So, at this point,
I
we're
agree.
fighting
Nebula
it-
no good.
we're fighting in open space. And what I want to do is take him somewhere where he can't be in the nebula because they're getting the 20% advantage and they're able to make their roll to avoid the lightning. So I need to fly to the middle of space.
Agreed. Overpower.
Okay,
Maximum-
so it doesn't matter where we point at him, does it? Because he can fly anywhere. I'm doing that as an evade, so hold on. There we go. That evades. So +2 to our armor class. Oh, the other thing with the flyby versus the evade, as far as DC, the DC on the evade is 1.5 times our ship's ship level. The flyby is 1.5 times their ship's ship level. They have a more advanced ship than we do, so it's a harder roll.
Fly by. Well, 6 plus 21. They still make it. So they will fly by you. Barely, though. They only got only 27. They need a 24. So they fly by you. You go first. Ooh, their butt's right at you. You can shoot their butt.
We're shooting first, you're saying?
Yeah, you shoot first.
Chris, John?
I don't know.
All right.
Who's shooting? Chris?
All right.
John?
I'll shoot.
No,
I'll shoot. I'll shoot.
Yeah,
Here's
no,
the-
Mo, take the
I'm
shot.
just-
Mo, take the shot.
Wait, actually,
Mo.
Jason has to rebalance. Is it 8 in every side
yeah, I
now?
thought it was
We're only getting 1 shot or 2 shots.
Jason, are you rebalancing?
Yeah, I'll rebalance.
You need 21. Easily makes
Easy.
it.
That's way.
36. All right. 8, 8, and 8. All right, who's shooting?
But
Go, go, go.
I have a weapon under my control, and I will roll it.
Go, go, go. Who's doing what?
Yeah.
6 plus, what was that?
he has a 6 plus 16. That's a hit.
He does 1
22.
attack. Yes, he barely makes it. So you get 1 attack and you hit. with your forward light particle beam.
My
I
6
presume.
hits. Okay.
3d6, barely. 9 points of damage.
Okay.
The shields are gone.
Average.
All right.
Just
Mo
about,
is going
yeah.
to attack. 32 hits.
You hit. What are you using, the turret, I presume?
Yeah, the
There
turret.
we
go.
Finally.
Finally.
Over a 9, finally. All right, so 14 damage with the turret.
Ooh, you actually crit one of their systems. So roll a 1d100.
They may be out of shields or close to it as well.
Ooh,
in which
55.
case, this is kind of a race to the finish.
1d4. You hit their weapons again.
That's true.
You hit 2 again.
Uh,
Their starboard gun is wrecked. It is actually gone. It is no longer functioning.
Yeah,
The
but it's their
starboard
forward
is the
helics.
right side of their.
They're not even using it anymore. So they get their free attack.
No, it will matter if we win the roll off. I can actually put us on
Right.
their starboard side.
And the other
That's
thing
fine.
is, the next time you hit that, if you crit it, you actually do the damage to them. It goes through the ship and hits them like on Star Trek, like where it
Nice.
explodes.
But Bob, do you know port from starboard? Do you know that?
Port out, starboard home.
He shoots.
POSH. Posh.
All right. So if the ship is facing north and you're standing on the bridge looking north,
Port out, starboard hold. Yes, I
well,
know.
which right or left?
Port is left. They both have 4 letters in them. Is the mnemonic
Thank you.
I was taught when I was 4.
The starboard has more than 4 letters.
Oh, I'm sorry. Why is it port out, starboard home?
Really?
Because it's the sun.
It's much
I'm
too
just saying, if
complicated.
Chris is trying to show me he knows so much, I'm just checking if he knows what the
It's
word
the
posh
sun.
means.
All right.
Port is 4 letters.
You have 44
Left is 4 letters.
hull points out of 65 left.
Starboard is 10.
It's almost exactly the same. You guys are nearly neck and neck. It's really going to be whoever wins these rolls. That's going to
It's
not
going to be a
blow up.
shootout. It's actually really comes down to who wins the roll off each round. So we've lost 3 times in a row, which is why we've been doing poorly.
One good hit and everyone blows up.
Yeah, but that's
Problem is, they're more likely
Yeah.
to get the good hit than we are.
So we have to use tactics. I actually, there was a game I played, The Complete Strategist, in like 1979, where people played. It was almost choose your own adventure with books. It was World War I planes, and it was skeletons. And I'm trying to look and find where that was. Like you
the
could
Red
make that.
Baron? I think it was the Red Baron.
It was like books, or it was like choose your own adventure cards.
No,
or
I know
something.
those books.
It was a box.
No, I know
It
it.
was
That's
a
the Red
box
Baron.
set. Yeah,
Yeah, it was a
the-
box set.
Yeah, it was the box
Yeah,
set,
it was
like
Red
the
Baron.
Avalon Hill. It's
Yeah.
Avalon Hill.
Yeah.
That's
But it was like people
yeah.
would play standing up, and it would be a game you played, and you pulled out different, like it was this flip book. It was
I
like
never-
choose your own
Red
adventure.
Baron.
Oh,
No, exactly.
no.
It's the same engine as not Lost Worlds of hold on, I'll show you the link. I know exactly. I had those books. I know what you're talking about.
I'm thinking this is the way they should do Star Combat. They should like include it in Starfinder if they want to have longevity. Like make a card game that's for space combat.
Lost Worlds. Yeah, Lost Worlds. Here, I had all those books. Here, yeah, Lost Worlds, and they had one for
Yeah.
So
yeah,
what was
that's-
the game called though? It was
Yeah, I
called
think that's it. Lost World.
No. It was it Sky Barons?
Yes, I think that was it.
Because
Yeah,
it
it was-
wasn't
it
Red
was a-
Barons. It was something like Sky. I remember seeing the box. I never actually played the game. I've always looked at the that box.
I remember
was,
seeing people a complete strategist, which I would love to go to, and I'd see people playing that game early on. It was early years, and I was like, "Oh, that's
yeah,
pretty cool."
yeah.
And there was one with skeletons, and there was one with
No, this is right. Lost Worlds is one with skeletons. I have those books still.
yeah, Ace of Aces. Yeah, that's exactly
Oh, it was
right.
an Ace of Aces. Yeah, that was it.
It's in here. Yeah,
See, we are of the
See,
same mind.
yeah, dude, that's awesome. You're right, Steve. That's you found it. That's I could not find that. That is exactly what I'm talking about. It's so obscure, and like that would be.
And you
awesome.
mentioned I knew exactly what you're talking about because I played it.
And that they should take that.
I gotta
that
look at-
concept like no one knows about, and take that and like make that the Starship combat for this game if they want longevity, because they would really.
Yeah, look, like remember there was the character
Yes.
getting deaths. Yeah. Right. You swing down, side swing, and then you would do the page, and then I used to do those books were really fun. The cool thing is that anyone can fight anyone.
exactly.
There's still there's a community. People still play this game to this day.
I remember seeing people play that standing up in complete stratus while I'm looking for my like Mara world or whatever, and like I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Like, but like, no, I didn't think anyone even knew about that. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, here's the Lost Worlds. There's Lost Worlds Adventure set, the Dino Fight series, Tunnels and Trolls, one using photo, Rune Sword, Queen's Blade, Queen's Gate, the Duel.
See, I
There's a
mean,
bunch.
don't you think, Steve, that if they were to make like Starship Combat is annoying because you know what? It's more rules, it's more stuff you have to fiddle about with, and then think about your main character to have to deal with that for that thing.
It's a
Like,
completely different game.
It's a completely different game, which I'm okay with that concept.
Yeah.
But like, make it Lost Worlds where you get a deck of cards, and you know as you level up, you get more powerful things that can go into your deck, and like this is kind of like that. It's easy to do, although people want to buy more stuff, but people don't want to buy stuff. But
Yeah, it's a deck builder, basically.
well, like the problem with it is like if you make your character and you don't know about those rules because you're like, I'll deal with that later, and then no one puts any points into piloting skill, so no one has any ranks in that. So you have 0 ranks piloting, you lose, you're done, right? I mean, you can't win.
Well, I mean, you can recover from that in 2 levels, though. I mean,
Are you guys ready? And we're going to move this along because it's very close. I'm sick of it too. The Sunrise Maiden has no forward shields, 8 to the port, 8 to the aft, and 8 to the starboard. Your life support, your sensors, your forward weapons, your engines, and your power core are all glitching. You have 44 hit points left out of 65.
On the other hand,
The other ship, the Clockwork Prism is what it's called. You've hit the starboard weapon 3 times. That thing is wrecked. It is like literally falling off the ship, which is pretty good. And I believe you hit their power core once. That ship is also not doing too well. However, it's much, much harder to hit. So it really looks like it's down to whoever gets the next shot in is going to win this battle.
And they do seem like they're out of to the torpedoes for the cannon because they stopped firing.
That is
at
correct.
It. They stopped
They're out of
firing that a
torpedoes.
few rounds ago.
they have no starboard
that's
weapon
right.
at
Good
all.
call. Yes.
If we actually win the piloting role, we can actually move to their starboard side. They wouldn't be able to
Yes.
shoot at us at all.
We'll just need to tell Chris which side is starboard. So we can do
Chris
that.
is not our pilot. Chris is.
Oh,
he's,
good.
He's there to press a button and shoot a gun.
Oh,
That's it.
good.
Right, I
He's there to
switched.
press
I
a
had to
button.
man the guns because we had incompetent gun air.
Oh.
Piloting needed a very complicated and intelligent craftsman. So
who is
we
that man?
moved Chris aside. Oh,
Who is that man?
well, I don't want to name him. I mean, that would be wrong.
You don't want to name yourself, so
C'est
Well,
moi.
modesty.
Bob, you should say c'est moi.
Simple.
Little Camelot reference.
Who is going to do what? And by the way, so the Sunrise Maiden is literally right behind the Clockwork Prism. So here we go. It's gonna end one way
It's
or
an
another pretty soon. We'll find out.
I'm ready to re-roll a character.
All right.
You know.
We have
I mean,
life pods. No, we go to life pods.
Please understand, if we all die, I'm going to make the operative get all the bonuses that Chris never got by leveling up, and he's going to have to play another character.
I'll play the healer.
Perfect.
Well, I guess Bob would roll initiative, not Chris then.
Mm-hmm.
that would be me.
Rusty's our man.
Yeah, Bob.
Man on the stick. He's on the stick.
Wait, what's Jason going to be? Jason, what were you?
Engineering or
Forward shields. We need some repair.
Then I guess in that
Unless there's
case-
something else to repair. Like what else?
Well, the problem
We
It
have
is
no
seems-
forward shields.
I can do like the balance the shields like maybe 2 more times, and then we're
If we have
basically
enough.
out of shields.
yeah.
And even then, the balance
that's
shields is gonna like
probably
if
good.
they hit for like 6, 7, or 8 damage, it's gonna take out the shields, and it's still gonna do some hull damage.
Yeah, but only a little, and we're only glitching in different systems. None of our systems have actually gone down, so you don't need to actually
Alright.
like repair them
I
and
mean-
bring them back up. But you know you've researched the engineering much better than I have, so I'm just giving.
But
I'm
Tuttle is
just
doing
blathering.
I think that's
repairs.
science. I think science is balance the shields. If I
Well,
remember correctly.
both of them. You've researched
Yeah.
far more than I have. I
Yeah.
will say.
Science is to balance the shields and
Or target
engineering-
systems or
Right.
scan.
Yeah, and then
An
engineer,
engineer
can
is diverting power, which is basically giving little extra bonuses here and there, or fixing systems.
Exactly.
All right, I'll be on science this turn. I'll do another shield balance to try to give us a little bit more protection.
Okie dokie. So does that mean it comes down to this roll as to who lives?
Yes,
and who dies?
Pretty
Dramatic
much.
roll now.
This is
I've forgotten my modifier, but I can roll a d20.
We're exactly the same. It's basically whoever rolls higher wins. You and I have the same modifier.
So I'm going to roll a d20, is what you're saying.
I'm gonna let you roll first. I always roll first. Let's say you roll first.
All right. I'm not Chris. I'm not superstitious about that. I'm just going to roll my goddamn die.
Yeah, but you do roll badly though.
Here we go.
Oh,
I'm sorry,
17!
what was it you were saying? I'm sorry. I didn't hear you, Chris. What
Ding,
was-
ding, ding, ding.
Without modifiers, that's the 17. There we go.
Well, we have the same modifier, so.
I know, but I'm just... Oh, there we go.
3! That's not good.
Nice.
What a great pilot. We like this guy on this stick.
So now our practice rolls are out of the way. Let's do the real roll. Are you ready?
The real rolling? I think that's the real
Let's
roll.
see how they
okay.
move.
Chris, I
See
just
how
want to
they
say,
move.
if Hiroji needs some lessons on how to pilot, I want to tell you that Rusty is willing to sit down and really mansplain it to him, like the best of them.
You might be right. You might be right. We'll see. I mean, what's your piloting skill, by the way?
Let's not talk about details like that. Not really very important. What I'm saying is that actually, like, about style.
Yes. Well, we're not out of the woods yet, so.
All right, I'm waiting
Looks
for
like this
Steve
happened.
to move so I can actually figure out where I'm going.
Yeah, that's true. Bob, do you know where Starboard is?
Port out, starboard home, P-O-S-H, posh.
Oh, that's a good
All
spot.
right, he's done. He's
It was a good
moved
spot.
into the cloud nebula because he's thinking three-dimensionally.
Ooh.
One moment, I'm working out some details. Okay, perfectly, that's the space I want to be in. I'm not
Yeah, you
entirely
can't
sure
get
if I
there.
have the space to
can't.
get there. That's the thing. I'm
Nah,
too
that's
short of it,
11.
so I'm trying to actually
That's
get a limited
11.
amount of range of fire for it. So, what I was hoping to do was get to the point where at least he would be a fire with his forward, but not with his starboard. That's why I was the two back where I was.
Yeah, you can go. That's 9, and you can just stop there if you want. You can, and then turn if you want to turn. you can turn.
I could go one more, and he wouldn't be able to shoot at me. But at the same time, then I'm in the middle of the cloud, which does damage to us. And I think we've discovered that my piloting roll is not enough to protect us from that damage. So, okay, do we have a better chance of surviving him shooting, them shooting, or the cloud, the nebula doing damage to us?
Does the nebula do damage? I forget.
Yes, and it's done
Potentially,
damage to
yes.
us at least twice.
A lot.
You can go into that square as well, and then you would be on the starboard side.
I'm on the starboard side as is, but wait, can that space? Yeah, that space could be hit by his forward gun.
Forward only, you're in the space that forward and starboard can be hit.
Wait. Hold on. Time out. We won initiative, right?
Yeah, don't worry.
Yes, we did.
Okay, so
Yeah,
isn't he
we're
supposed
already
to
on
move
that.
first?
He
I
did.
already
Yes, he did.
He
He
did.
Oh,
we're,
sorry.
we're 10 rounds past that. All right.
All right. Let me
Uh,
wake up. Hold on. Let me get some stuff.
I'm looking at his forward range of fire. John, you're right. That space cannot be hit by his forward guns. It doesn't have the range of arc to actually hit.
And you can actually
That's right.
turn
No.
60 degrees also. So that's
we're fine
probably
right where
what
that
you
is.
want to
Yeah.
do.
That's
Well, he has to be the way he is now, or he has to.
No, that's I don't have a much turn any more turning. I had one space left. So
You turn
yes,
after
John,
you
that
move.
was it. Very nice.
Yeah. He's there.
Sorry, no irony. John, good job. That was the spot we wanted.
Yeah, but we could also be turned.
Everyone wants to be a pilot these days.
From this spot, we can shoot at him. He cannot shoot at us. We will not be damaged in the cloud. This is the perfect spot. I am done
Do
piloting.
we want to roll first, or does
Oh, sorry. And I'm
I
also
I
making
forget
an
how this
evasive
works.
roll. I'm also doing evasive movement. Let me make my roll. This is a piloting check roll. The only negative is nothing, really.
Well, there's a negative, but let's see what you
Yeah,
get.
but it's -2. Oh, it's -2 for him to hit. It doesn't matter. He can't hit me. Okay, I'm done.
Okay. After all that.
Sorry. And
rigmarole.
actually, John, I put you back and you came up with the right answer. I apologize for that.
Is it time for me to balance some shields, I guess? Which is almost automatic.
Yes.
That'll be balancing the shields. So, computers. So 6.
It's a sign of the devil. 6.
Speaking of which, don't watch the movie The Ninth Gate. It's terrible. Anyways,
It's horrible.
it's horrible. It's the worst thing ever.
Good movie is Car Dogs. It's like a salesman, high pressure job thing.
Sounds good.
It's okay. It's not great. It's not Glenn. It makes Glenn Ross references, which I liked.
Yes.
And they were making fun of the salesman who didn't know the movie, which was good as well. But
you have to do that.
yeah, it's a good movie. It's all right.
My boss's refrigerator says water is for closers only.
Yeah.
Okay, they go, and nothing happens.
And nothing happens. We need to shoot at them.
Except nothing. Yes, you may shoot at them.
I think we should use a computer.
You have a no.
Yeah.
You have a you should use the computer, but you have a big bonus.
+3 for the computer.
Dex piloting and +2.
My dex bonus is +4.
Yeah.
And
What it comes down to, Chris, you're +16, and Mo is +15 to hit.
right.
So which weapon are you using, Christopher?
The best weapon. The turret.
No, you don't get.
He does have a higher to hit, John.
Oh, then he has the turret.
Light particle beam activated. Go, Chris. Go.
Okay.
Go.
One or never mind. He hit.
Oh, 36. Almost a crit. Not quite, though. Except they're in the nebulous cloud. 20% mischance, please.
Low is no good.
Oh, dude, you have a +17 in there.
Doesn't matter.
Nevertheless,
Yeah,
it was an 82.
You gotta get rid of that +17, dude.
It was an
gotta get
82.
rid of
We
that.
know
Next
what it
time I'm
was.
not allowed.
No. You
All
gotta
right.
get rid of that. He has to re-roll that. That's cheating.
Cheetah.
Actually, I kind of have to say he's right.
That's
No,
cheating.
you know what, Chris?
Yeah,
you
that's
gotta
just
reroll
cheating.
There you go, 73. Give me damage. You do. I'm gonna take that roll just for that.
3d6.
Yeah, what 3d6? Go gadget. 12 points of damage. Oh
Yes.
my lords!
Not bad.
Holy
Above
moly.
average. Haha, take that!
Mo has been rolling 8.
Wow. Okay,
Eight,
they take.
eight.
That's a lot of damage. You actually hit, and you see sparks, and it's like the Star Trek episodes where you're seeing all the sparks and electricity shooting out of them, and you're like, that doesn't look good. Who's up next?
Mo.
Really?
Miss.
You rolled an 18. You
I
missed.
rolled 3.
Missed. All right, good job. Beginning of the next round, who's doing what? Anyone changing?
There's no crits or anything?
What? No, you didn't crit. Oh, wait.
Yeah, but for damage accumulation, I think we
No.
were on the cusp.
No, you weren't. I know what you did. Oh, actually, you know what? You're right. You did. Roll a D100. You actually were on the cusp. So you did
Chris,
hit a crit.
you did it.
Chris, so.
Oh, hold on, that's 3D100. Why did it double roll? That's weird. 50.
50. Wow, their weapons array again. Okay, this might get very fascinating. Roll a 1d4. Oh, if you rolled forward, if you rolled a 2, you would have actually shot through the hole into them and actually did damage to the ship on the inside. Instead, you hit their forward cannons, malfunctioning them. However, as you're about to start the new round, something happens.
All right.
You sound disappointed.
I sound unsurprised.
You sound worried.
Why?
I'm very happy.
Okay, this happens. They try to maneuver their ship, which they've been so good at in the last several endless rounds of combat, of getting past those nebulous, horrible electricity blasts. But yet, a large electrical blast hits the ship right where the starboard hull is and tears through the ship. And as it tears through the ship, suddenly it explodes.
Oh, nice.
See,
So
okay, that's what I was upset by. I wanted salvage rights. I wanted their ship.
Yeah, not in that cloud. We can't get in that cloud.
So the cloud stole the kill.
Give me a pilot check.
That would be Rusty.
All right. Hold on.
Get us away from the debris field.
No, that can't be it.
All right, my piloting of 13 is being rolled. Natural
Oh.
20, 33 piloting.
Nice.
Oh man, I shouldn't allow you to have this. The glory of the almost kill. Okay.
Well, I got the last shot on it, so I'm taking
Well-
glory.
Things were going poorly when we had a previous pilot, that's true. But don't worry, someone took over the piloting controls, and everything has gone fine since then.
Okay, here we go. Wow, this is fascinating. So the blast is enormous because it catches the entire nebula, which you were right next to, and a cascade fire. You, with the most unbelievable agile luck, hit the right controls almost blindly. You're not even paying attention. It's like
Natural 20, skill.
it's just blind luck. You're like, oh my god! And you're just pressing buttons, and suddenly the ship does exactly what it needs to do. The good news is you only get hit by half the blast. The bad news is it's still 16 points of damage, which is half the blast. Otherwise, it would have been a full 32 points.
Did he have the Genesis device on his ship? Just check.
They must.
They actually had self-destruct, and it actually hit the self-destruct button inside the cloud, which just made it 10 times worse. You now have 60 hull points out of 65 left, which means you do take one more crit. I roll 11. It goes to your sensors, which actually isn't bad at all, so it's malfunctioning. So Rusty manages to get you out of the harm's way.
With extraordinary skill is the
With a
part that I
plum.
still want to get out there. By the way, I catch the dagger in midair, I throw it back into Lopan's head, and I say it's all
It's all in the reflexes. Hey everyone, Steve here. So after all that combat, it really came down to one last roll. Because in the end, both of them had no shields left. The holes were like 80% gone. It came down to one shot. And whoever got that shot was going to disable the other ship. I kind of wish the bad guys would have won because there was actually some fun stuff that was going to happen. And then they were going to board the ship and then it would have been cool hand-to-hand combat. But it didn't happen that way. Instead, the ship did blow up. That was part of the module. It does self-destruct. You don't get any of the cool Azlanti gear. But if anyone's listening from the Roll for Combat podcast, let me tell you, you had some other options. A few things you can always do. And those of you who are not interested in doing Starship combat, keep these in mind. First, you could have surrendered, and if you surrendered, the Azlanti would have come onto your ship, and it just would have been hand-to-hand combat. You could have done that, and you could have gotten some really, really sweet Azlanti gear. Their armor kind of self-destructs, but their weapons are awesome, and you could have gotten that, but nope. The other thing you could have done, which no one said, not even once, is you could have boarded them. That is always an option. You can try to board someone else's ship. It's not the easiest thing in the world, but you can do it, and then you can overrun their ship. There was an entire blueprint of their ship with stats and a whole thing of how you get on the ship, fight them, and then get off before it self-destructs. That was all written out in the module. It was an option. Now, it's one of those things I didn't outright say. I kind of alluded to it. I wonder if I should have maybe said, that's the problem with being the GM. If you say something like, do you want to board them? And then they know it's an option. As soon as I say that, they're like, oh, wait, he's telegraphing that we can board them. I was just hoping that one person somehow, some way would say, I wonder if we can board them. Or in passing said, we should try to board them. And then I'd say, you can always do that. But for those of you who want to do that in the future, as long as it's not a Starfinder Society game in which Starship Combat is Starship Combat, it's not really an option, you should say to your GM, you know what, I don't want to do Starship Combat, I'm going to board them. And if they know what they're doing, they should say, okay, it's in the rules, and there's a billion Starship maps out there that they can just whip up and use, and it's probably a lot more fun. I would recommend doing that. Anyhow, Starship combat's over. They're about to get to the Najor system. Najor is awesome. It is a really, really cool system. Jason Keeley did a fantastic job with this module, and this one really is a lot of fun. I can't wait till you guys hear what happens next week and the weeks following. But next, we come to our new segment, Roll to Assist, where you can ask me and other notable GMs any questions you want, and we will answer them. And again this week, I have Perram from the No Direction podcast joining me. This week we answer a question from one of Perram's viewers, which is, how do you keep track of like 100 books and thousands of rules? And, well, we get into it. So take it away.
Question from No Direction Discord is from C Hall. They want to know, this game has like 100 plus books on it. How's a GM supposed to learn all this? I think they're mostly talking about Pathfinder because Starfinder's not there yet, but Starfinder is a Paizo game.
Yeah, that's Pathfinder right there. That is an interesting question. The answer is multifold. There's a few things. First of all, there's a lot of GMs, what they do is they only allow certain books in their game. That's very common. I see that a lot, where they say, look, you can only use 2 books. Usually what they'll do is they'll let the PCs choose which books, so you're not being too strict. But that way you don't have to know and own every single book in the world. If you're like me, and I kind of let people more or less choose from everything when I play Pathfinder, the only way I can keep it straight is I use Hero Lab. Hero Lab, as long as you buy it, will have everything in it. And Hero Lab is 99.999% right. In fact, I've never seen Hero Lab wrong. I know people will disagree, but I've never seen it. And one of the nice things about Hero Lab is that everything is in the books. Everything is in Hero Lab. So if you ever need to look something up, it's there. The other thing I do is whenever a PC is going to use something from one of the weird books, I make sure he tells me ahead of time. And most importantly, I make sure that he knows how it works. This mostly has to do with spells or equipment. Like if he's using some weird spell or has some weird equipment that's just from even a third-party book, I just say, look, you got to know how this works perfectly. Show it to me ahead of time. Make sure I understand it, and I'll prove it. But from this point on, you're in charge of knowing how it works. And I'm assuming you are going to get this right, because I can't keep track of everything. So you have to keep track of your character. And that's really how I handle that. And the last thing I'm going to say is online, especially for Pathfinder, you can just go to the D20PRSRD.com, and that has everything. That has everything in there, including all the books, pretty much anything. And you can just look it up there, and that's free. And that's what I do. And I often have the players help me out. Like if I need something, I'm not the only one looking it up. Usually if I say, can someone look something up, one of the players will jump on it, or 2 or 3, and they'll look it up while I'm running the game, so it doesn't take away from me. I mean, there's a lot of answers. I presume you have similar ones.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely back up everything you just said. The software tools make things super easy, and the PRD websites especially. I mean, I'm always have a shortcut to the PRD on my phone, no matter what I'm running, even though I prefer to use Dead Tree more often than not when I'm playing. It's just when I need to find some obscure feat and how it works out of nowhere in the middle of a game, it's so much easier to just like click that up on my phone than it is for me to figure out which book it is on the shelf and then flip through it. And there are tons of books for Pathfinder. Starfinder will catch up soon. The Paizo loves to publish material. And if you're doing third-party material, then that just becomes insane. But the thing that I think is important for any GM is to not feel like you need to know all 100 books before you start playing. And mostly we've answered from a standpoint of a rules, but the most common place I see intimidation is the setting stuff. And this is not unique to any game, but, there is like thousands and thousands and thousands of pages written about Galarian and the Paizo setting. And in Starfinder, you have to worry about all the stuff that's in the Pact Worlds books and in the different books, as well as the stuff that's been written about Galarian, because technically all that stuff is still true too. And that can be super intimidating when you're asked to run a convincing world, especially if you're playing as a new GM with experienced players who have played a ton of this content. And like back when we were playing Forgotten Realms, that was probably even the most common complaint about the realms. It's like, how in the world am I supposed to write and run my own game in this setting when my players know it better than I do? And the truth is, they don't. You don't need to worry about any of that stuff. You just need to know about what is important to the game you're running today. And any sort of intimidation about your players knowing more than you do can be solved really quickly with, it's your table, it's your game, your answers are what matters. What somebody else's version of Galarian says about any given street or city or country doesn't matter at your table. And you will just need to study about what you intend to run and what you expect to come up later. And when you do improvise, like we talked about in the previous improvise, write down your notes so it's consistent. And you'll learn this eventually. You'll pick up the details that you want to use. You won't want to use all the details that are out there. But just remember that you're the GM and this is your world. And any player worth their salt is working with you, not against you.
Yeah, I mean, the big key is this is called collaborative storytelling. And that is what I always try to think about, is that if I come up with something and I explain like a world setting and the players come up with something, I could be like 99% of the time, I'm like, yeah, that's cool. That's in there too. Yeah, sure. I like that. Because it's collaborative storytelling. You don't want to be the only one. That's where the fights come in. And that's where you start not trusting the GM, is where the GM starts disagreeing with the players. Because what's really happening from a psychological point of view is the players are trying to contribute and add their part to the story. And if you disagree with them, then the story isn't going the way that they want in their head, and then they start getting angry, and then they feel like their character is getting railroaded. So the old always say yes, it's the same thing. And if you have players that are trying to be disruptive, that's a whole other subject. That's something else. But most times, especially if you have a regular group, they're going to know like what goes and what doesn't go. You're not going to be on a lava planet and they're like, oh, we need to find an oasis. I heard there's oases on these lava planets. And you're like, well, there aren't. But that doesn't mean that you can't set up a tiny hut or something and make an oasis. You know, there's always a way out of it. So that would be my suggestion too.
Now, there is one area of play that we've sort of talked about earlier where this becomes a bigger problem than it doesn't, because we've all talked about how you can control your table and rewrite things and improvise things and limit the sources of the players. None of that's an option in organized play. You have to play by all the rules and all the books and all the setting, and that can be an intimidating thing. So any advice for an organized play player?
You're asking me? Organized play. Well, what I do for organized play, because I GM, I'm not a player, but for the GM is you get the adventure ahead of time and you get to see what everyone's going to be using ahead of time. So at least for the GM portion, the adventure itself, I always print out everything. They always are highlighting their newest books. You know, so whatever Paizo came out with that year is going to be in that adventure if you're running the current adventure. So it's not too hard. They don't go too crazy. What happens, though, is very often I will run an adventure with level 11 Pathfinders who have things from 27 books. Actually, that's not even right. They'll have things from 127 books in their character. And what I'll often say in the beginning is, look, please explain to me what your character does, how it works, and do you have anything weird? And I see all the hands raise up because, of course, they're like, let me explain to you how this works. You know, and I have almost like 10, 15 minutes of them just going through and explaining to me their characters and what special feats or special abilities they have, which they're going to be using. And that usually helps out a lot. And the other thing I say, and this is after one time I had a very bad experience running an 11th level game where everyone was beyond OP and it just wasn't fun for everyone. I said to everyone, I said, look, this was another 11th level game. The very next year at Gen Con, the special, and I said, look, you guys are very strong. This adventure is probably not going to be too challenging to you if you go in guns blazing. Let's all agree we're going to have a really good time. We're going to have fun. You don't go crazy, and I won't go crazy. I won't be coup de grace. I won't be sundering. I won't be doing anything like that. but you guys keep it in check too. And you know what? Those were some of the most fun, crazy adventures I've ever had. Everyone had a good time. And I think just being honest with your players before you run the adventure will make the whole session a lot of fun for everybody.
And players love talking about themselves too, so it's a really good trick you just said. Just like, tell us what's special about your character and what I need to be looking out for, and they will happily tell you. Also, when it is a setting thing and you're running into a situation where you're running an adventure and you've studied up for that adventure and you see it, you can just see it in their eyes when the player knows something about a setting that has just come up that maybe you didn't catch. When the player starts to be excited and like, oh, it's the Aspis Consortium, and you don't know what the Aspis Consortium is, you can just point to that player and says, hey, why don't you tell everybody about the Aspis Consortium? And then suddenly it seems like you knew all along, and you're letting the player get some spotlight time.
Yeah, that's an excellent idea of letting the players talk to each other. If they're a group of friends, they'll usually do it automatically, or they'll just talk to each other and tell you about each other's characters because they've been playing so long. But often when you're doing organized play, it's either 2 or 3 groups of friends, or it could just be all strangers. And that's a good way to even break the ice, is having them talk about their characters, because everyone wants to talk about their characters. Everyone wants to tell their adventures and what cool things they've done. So you just have them start talking, and then it makes everyone relax with each other. And also each player knows what each other can do. It's great. That's like a great way to just start it off. And then meanwhile, you're learning what they do. And then if you have any questions, you could ask a question, and then they'll be happy to talk about their character and explain all about that really cool feat they have or that really amazing magic item they found. At the same time, you're learning, oh, now I know what that does because I didn't know that before.
And it's also worth noting that, so for some confidence, not even the people that work at Paizo know every word in every book.
God, no. I mean, I play with the Paizo guys all the time, and I'll ask them, oh, how does this work? Just the other day I was playing and I asked how Aura worked. And they're like, hold on, I got to look it up. I mean, heck, I played with the guys who wrote the damn classes, and even they don't always know how the classes work 100%. And they invented the damn things. So trust me, everyone looks this stuff up. Hey everyone, Steve here. So once again, if you want to ask a question for a future episode, just go to the Discord channel, discord.rollforcombat.com, and just ask me. You could also ask Perram if you have any questions over at the No Direction Discord channel. Either way, we will get your questions and answer them for a future show. So a few show notes, and then I'm going to talk all about this week's PaizoCon contest question. But first up, be aware that if you like to play games and you like Discord and you don't get a chance to do that all the time, we have something for you. Outpost 2 is starting soon. What is Outpost 2, you say? That is where you can play Pathfinder Society, Starfinder Society, and even the card game online. That's right. You can play either on Play by Post, which is on a forum such as the Paizo Forum, or play by Discord, such as the Roll for Combat Discord channel. And we are running, I believe, 8 or 9 games this year. So how do you sign up? Real simple. Just go to outpost.rollforcombat.com and you will be redirected to the sign-up sheet, where there's over 150 games online. That's right, you can sign up for over 150 games. I strongly suggest you don't sign up for 150 games, but if you want to, you can. When does this start? It starts March 11th and goes until May 6th, so you have a little less than a month to sign up now. Once again, just go to outpost.rollforcombat.com. That will take you to the sign-up page, where you can find the Roll for Combat games and sign up for those, or you can sign up for others as well if you don't like Discord or you just want to play a different type of game. And a few other things, they do run the special at Outpost too. So if you can't get a chance to go to PaizoCon or Gen Con or for some other convention, which is the only place where you can play things such as the Solstice Star version D or the Scour Star Incident, then sign up now. Roll for Combat Discord is running 3 Scoured Stars Incident tables, and I've run it. It is really, really fun, and I think it actually translates to Discord amazing because it's a long adventure, so you guys can go really, really fast and really get into it. So do check it out. Do come by and sign up before the table's completely full. A few other quick show notes. New podcast every single Tuesday. Don't forget to subscribe to us on iTunes or Android or even Spotify. That's right, we're now on Spotify, so check us out there. Also, do check out Jason's Talking Combat column every single Thursday. He wrote one about Starship Combat, and holy moly, it went semi-viral as he gave some ideas on how to change and update Starship Combat, and people went crazy on that one. So do check this out. Just go to rollforcombat.com and you can check out all of his columns. Also, don't forget, join our Discord. That's right, if you join our Discord, you can talk all about all these great episodes. You can just talk about gaming and any other geek culture stuff you like. You can play games. You name it, we got it. You just go to discord.rollforcombat.com, and if you talk enough, you get to level 10. And what does that mean? You get a free t-shirt. That's right, ding, 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 free t-shirt. Also, do follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. You can find all the links on rollforcombat.com, our webpage. Also, check out our Reddit channel, and do check out the Patreon for some cool things. Oh, that's right, and before we go, I do want to mention the PaizoCon contest, so don't forget, anyone in the world can enter. You have to be 18 or older, and you need to join the Roll for Combat Discord channel. For now, all you need to know is answer this question, and then in a few weeks, there will be a form for you to fill out. You fill that out, someone randomly gets selected, as long as they get all the answers right. They fulfill all their requirements, and you get a free trip. So, the question for this week is, which section of the enemy starship was wrecked? There you go. Just listen to the podcast. The answer's right in there. Should be an easy one this week. Next week, come back to the show. The guys actually get to the Najor system, and craziness begins. Otherwise, I'll speak and talk to you guys next week. See ya.
You've been listening to Roll for Combat, a Starfinder actual play podcast. If you have a question or comment for the show, please visit us at rollforcombat.com or drop us a line at contact@rollforcombat.com. You can also find us on Twitter, Facebook, Discord, and other social media platforms. You've been listening to Roll for Combat, unless you rolled a natural 1. Sorry.